give it a few seconds to let some of that smoke clear. That's for Skip and particularly for our little smart car.
I love that they left. Mark left the runway and left the smart car out there. That's what kills me about this whole thing. There they go.
Here it goes. There's 60. 1, 150, 75, 2, 225, 275, 3, 308, 310, 3. Oh my
Go
God!
around the wing instead of the fuselage, and that is crazy flying. Comes out sort of into the rolls again because the airplane isn't flying right now. It's still not flying. Very look, now the wings connect and he's able to fly speed and energy, but still effective. As he slides backwards now, get the airplane turned around after a long tangent. That's a long tangent. And look at that. Versus direction. Amazing.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
When Kevin decided 14 years ago he was getting aviation to Stingray. This is his 14th year on Aeroshell.
And watching him get to a point, watching the style, the aggressiveness.
From startup to getting him out there to getting the oil running into some of these older engines like the ones we're about to experience. Making sure that they're nice and hot and that the oil is where it needs to be, but then not to be out there too long in the case of the Mustang that we'll see later today too, because these things superheat until they get into the air. You've got to get them up into the air in the higher cooler.
70 years old, these airplanes. In most cases, the AT-6 Texans from the Aeroshell team here. More Southern gentlemen lining up.
Described them, and these big Hamilton Standard propellers that are going to chill and bite into the air with the tips, the very end.
then Bryan, then Jimmy, and now they go into a
There's a lot of people that see this thing flying cross country. I think it's a P-38 Lightning, the old World War II fighter.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can
What a cool airplane.
And now look at him toss it around aerobatically. Up and around it goes, inverted, getting it right side up again. And this is a complex airplane to fly.
3 throttles.
2 rudder pedals and a control stick.
2 cockpits too. I mean, you can. I joke around. I always say you can go between the 2 of them. But it's such a neat airplane, and you know, one of my favorite things to watch. I know you've been talking about the asymmetric thrust, the differential thrust that you can use on this. You can really, slam it around. It doesn't hurt the chest. Competition.
Something's not down the center of an airplane. There's 2 engines. If one's firing a little more than the other one, or the pitch is a little bit different, it throws it around. It throws it around, it yaws, it's scary. So he's got to manage that. It's not all tied together. He's like this with his hands.
Look at this. He can start running one of those throttles up, and you'll see it actually start accelerating here in this flat spin. Look at that. There it goes, starting to pick up speed.
One engine is now pushing around, the other one's kind of dragging a bit. And that's how he's doing that, and tightening it up and making it faster and faster until wisely he gets it flying again.
Yeah. So neat to watch.
Well, bring it over to the left, my friend. Oh, you're doing that. A more differential power. And now, he's going to add power. Roll with the punches. Did you ever, when you first got into flying, did you ever think, Jeff, that you would fly a one-of-a-kind airplane like this?
He's out doing tricks here with the Red Bull Air Force. Kirby Chambliss loves to fly with him. They're going to go straight up. And with this BO-105 helicopter, he's equipped the rotor system to be able to do tricks like this. Nice hammerhead, bringing it back around. Kirby's right there with him. He's got a titanium rotor cap. And these balls on the blades called oscillating dampeners. And they allow this helicopter, BO-105, to get upside down. When's the last time you saw a helicopter do that?
And Aaron Fitzgerald is one of a handful of very special helicopter pilots.
True, there's 4 people in the world that are rated to do this type of maneuver, and it does take special training as well.
And as dangerous as this is, Miles, I remember Fitz saying when he was flying over doing traffic reporting, he says it's safer doing this than being in the traffic and in the LA freeways.
True, you never know what's going on down there. Yeah, here he is with a nice barrel roll, smooth over the top. Oh, half of a barrel roll. And then coming back underneath. It's pretty amazing. Like, watching him do these tricks, it looks like it's impossible to do. Like that flip right there in a helicopter getting upside down, that's not a remote control helicopter. That's a real BO-105 helicopter. And you're only really pulling about 1.5 Gs to maybe 2 Gs.
That's all?
And it's all positive Gs. It's true. Yeah, you never get negative because you can't really stick the blades to push down, and you wouldn't want to do that anyway.
Yeah, the blades get dangerously close to the tail.
True, and you would lose a lot of altitude really, really fast. Yeah, my dad was a pilot in the Air Force, and he said the only reason helicopters fly is because they're so ugly the Earth repels them. But they actually have a lot of physics involved with this.
Oh yeah, Igor Sikorsky, the father of the modern helicopter, overcame a lot of physics and aerodynamic problems to make this kind of rotary wing flight work.
And wouldn't he be amazed to see what's going on today?
Oh, he would.
Woo! Yeah, the Sikorsky helicopters, they get to be quite large too. I've been in one that you could put like 4 Jeeps inside of it, and we got an opportunity to jump out of one of those.
So he does the also pitch it forward and do a forward pitch.
Oh, he's about to do another amazing trick that it defies laws of physics and gravity. Here he is just pulling straight gainer from almost a standstill. Half the gainer with half of a twist. He's got more tricks up his sleeve. Don't take your eyes off of Aaron Fitzgerald.
Watch this, watch this. Up to the top, up to the top.
Up he goes.
Forward he goes.
Over the top. With a twist. Coming back. I still don't even understand how that quite works.
Doesn't matter if you know or not, as long as he does.
That's true. That's true. And I've actually gotten the opportunity to go for a ride with Aaron Fitzgerald, and it was quite comfortable. You could, except for with that move right there, you could put a Red Bull on the dash and it would stay put. You wouldn't have been, when he's doing the loops and the barrel rolls, it's just nice, smooth moves. It's like an airline pilot landing a plane.
Well, that stuff does give you wings, right?
Definitely does.
Personified. Watch this forward pitch from the front now. No, back he goes, and over he goes.
Straight over the back to give you another perspective of how that works. And listen to those blades working as they pump out some gravity.
You know, the BO-105 is
wave. I mean, he's got a seat. He's got a
in
seat.
and out of anywhere. And coming in hot, faster than a speeding ticket. Kirby Chambliss of the Red Bull Air Force.
faster than a what?
A speeding ticket.
Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, the youngest pilot for Southwest Airlines ever.
And the youngest to make captain for Southwest Airlines. Still holds that record, I believe. And yeah, he's a captain for Southwest Airlines, but when he's not doing that, here he is. Right in the sky, his Edge 540 stunt plane. He's in the Hall of Fame for aerobatic piloting. And he's also 6-time national champion for aerobatics. And then there's a race called the Red Bull Air Race. You may have heard of it. It's the Edge 540. It's the Super Bowl. And Kirby's a 2-time champion of the Red Bull Air Race.
So U.S. champion when it comes to aerobatics. And several times world champion as a racer. And it's he doesn't have the fear of the ground. He has the respect of the ground. And he manages that risk, puts it right on the edge. Hovering, look at this, hanging onto it, and a teeny tiny loop to pull back and fly out of it. That's just confidence
And competent.
outstanding.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all right there. Now Patty is there too. And she's so through to us just how relevant she still is. It's just remarkable.
If you go to the Smithsonian and you see her aircraft, it is inverted in that Hall of Fame on the wall. And inverted to show you the ribbon that she helped pioneer years ago. And it's out there set up right now. You can see it just behind the Thunderbirds. And we'll give you lots of lead-in time as she will eventually get down low enough, about 20 feet off the ground, to sever that ribbon.
I have to get this in there because Patty, like any great athlete, 10 years ago maybe, she came out with her own flight school to not only mentor new aviators who want to follow in the footsteps of so many people like she's followed in, but she wanted them to be able to do it correctly. And Patty, she's a brilliant writer. We all love to read her stuff, and it's way more than about flying, but Patty Wagstaff has transitioned just effortlessly into that instructor and mentor role. And Rob Ryder, I know she's got a sporties course out, but her flight school down there in San Augustine, Florida, open 12 months out of the year where you can learn how to do maneuvers just like that. Or just simply learn how to be safe in your airplane through her confidence course that she has for any pilot.
And that sporties course, she even has one now in addition to her aerobatic course a tail wheel training course to fly tail wheel aircraft. All right, she's extending way out to the right and coming back and forth, and she's going to check out those ribbons. As a matter of fact, she decided to go.
I still have a hard time interviewing Patty by herself.
Why is that?
Well, you know, it's just, I mean, so many years of watching and growing up in the business. Just, Patty is on a plane, if you will, like rarefied air. She's, that's not how she behaves, right? She's so approachable and incredibly approachable, but I'm telling you, a living legend in aviation.
Double snap roll on the up line, and then does a little kind of almost a hammerhead to get back. Those holes.
The sun is highlighting them now when she comes around.
And I think Patty prefers them on both wings. Some pilots just on one.
Well, years and years of rehearsal and practice.
She's also a 6-time winner of the Betty Skelton Award, a very important award in the business, and is an ambassador for AOPA, the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association.
She is also a great ambassador for animals. She just loves animals.
Kirby is not up there with the right.
Do we know that? Rennie usually joins us on the airshow circuit.
He's not
Rennie
here.
is the cutest little I hope not.
Yeah, he's not up here right now.
Rennie's up there with her now. That's just not good. I need to talk to him about that as well. She can help adopt dogs.
And she flies them all over the country sometimes.
She does to rescue them. Goats.
Whatever. Yeah.
This airplane.
Loves the horses.
Oh, excuse me. This airplane is.
Stop me now.
Even pigs. Remember we talked to her about the pigs?
That's right. She would be. Somebody ordered as an appetizer last night pigs in a plate. On your side and push that rudder so that the nose goes further down toward the ground. Unless you have the kind of skill, competency, and confidence.
Whatever. Look at that. There you go.
Now she's pushing it out.
Oh, yeah. What a cool lady. I love the pink steel right now. Yeah. I mean, it just looks great. Now, a little thing to come here. I've seen some FOD blowing out there on the runway. The Thunderbirds are having to pick some of it up out here. Patty will grab anything that gets airborne. Not to worry about that, but well, I'll tell you, Rick Peterson, this is just fun to watch. Matt Younkin taking off. Rick, where'd you go? Ron. Come on. Put your hands together for Matt Younkin and the Aerobatic Twin Beech. That's a cargo plane, folks. From World War II doing it. He does that because of the skill that are in those two hands there. Matt Younkin, the master of energy management, poetry in motion. Put your hands together for Matt Younkin and Miss Elliott. The C-45, the Twin Beech. And we're going to watch now as he sets up for this stunning aerobatic routine that'll just leave you spellbound. Y'all watch and enjoy. And of course, Matt continues in that tradition. Someone else who is continuing the tradition is one of Matt's main sponsors, and that is Lad Gardner Aviation Insurance. You know the name Gardner from his dad, Lefty Gardner, who of course flew so many other great airplanes. Lad insures this airplane as he would lovingly insure yours as well. A huge shout out to Tulsa Aircraft Engines for keeping those two big engines on that airplane going. Fagan fighters, Hartzell propeller, quality aircraft, accessories, ACM 50, Acorn welding, Apogee Investments, Champion Aerospace. And so many others. Let's watch the 4-point break. Bob Hoover would say, divided it into 4 pieces of pie. Here's scene 2, here's 3 and 4. Twice as difficult for Mr. Younkin now. Sitting in what looks like your great-grandmother's lawn chair up there in that airplane. And he just smiles from ear to ear, his signature photo finish pass. Somewhere. They pulled this thing out of an old hangar with a little baling wire and bubble gum and some duct tape. They made it back to Arkansas, where it's undergone an extensive restoration. And today helps tell the story of those brave airmen who kept this country going with the necessary auto parts or whatever they were hauling. Sometimes it was the bag of bread. They brought the milk, they brought whatever they needed to it. If you look overhead right now, Matt Younkin and the Shenley brothers are showing off with these 2 former freight dogs. The one, the Piper, right there in the lead there. Exactly, it's Bobby Younkin, used to fly it on those dark and stormy nights. If you know anything about air shows, then you know the name Roscoe Turner. Roscoe used to own this airplane. In fact, these folks were out there flying stormy skies, and I talked about that because the weather was often so terrible when these cargo planes would take off like this, the Twin Beeches, because no one else would go and do this stuff. And Bobby and these guys, they'd be up there bouncing around the middle of the night on the radio with each other, sometimes talking 100 miles apart, kind of like you did the other night. This was something that was extremely dangerous. The pay was what the pay was, but it allowed these men and women to earn a stable paycheck and keep the logistics backbone. Would you go by and see them today, because they'd love to have your story on there as well. I know you're thinking, well, I really didn't do anything. I just flew the mail. But listen, that is something. That is a story worth telling. And it belongs there. Can you imagine being in the stands there for the Bendix race or for the Cleveland Air races or one of those great races and hearing that thing with 10 or 15 other airplanes just like it stacked up?
It was the NASCAR of its day.
Sure was.
The original Mr. Mulligan had an 800 horsepower hopped up Pratt & Whitney R1340 engine. 32-foot wingspan. Wow. Cruised at 200.
Drawings in a model airplane book. There you go. They first flew it in 1982. It's the only true replica of the original aircraft. The only difference being the 600 horsepower engine.
Here's your money shot coming. This
Sure
is the
is.
prettiest shot you can get of it all day.
Somewhere around 230 miles an hour. Maybe even 300 on this pass. Look at it coming around. I love it.
So important to include historic.
As Michael dives towards show center, that Hartzell Talon propeller, powered with a Lycoming Thunderbolt engine, accelerates his airplane to over 250 miles per hour. Michael is known for giving his air show performance 110% every time he flies. And by the look of that entry, that's not about to change today.
a slow roll along the show line to display the Hog's precise handling characteristics. As he rolls, you will notice a heritage jungle paint scheme inspired by the F-105 Thunder Chief, operated by the 355th Tactical Fighter Wing during the Vietnam War. Known as the Thud, F-105 will be dominant attack aircraft during this conflict. They're capable of propelling the A-10 at a top speed of 450 miles. They're also extremely quiet, making the Warthog much harder to hear and aiding immensely in achieving tactical surprise. On the battlefield, this capability enables the Warthog to turn quickly and evade enemy air defenses. Major Fulham is now configuring his aircraft to demonstrate the A-10's slow speed controllability at its final approach rate of 120 knots. Get your cameras ready. This slow speed pass will give you a good chance to see the A-10's high bypass engines and unique tail design. These distinct features help mask the engine heat signature, aiding the pilot to the feet infrared missiles. Let's go to the cockpit of the A-10 and hear what Major Fulham has to say.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the A-10 team, I'd like to say thank you all great folks in Kansas City and all the great folks in Kansas City Airshow for hosting us and the team and this unbelievable lineup of performers. It's an honor and privilege to be out here flying with us. It's a great weekend for us. And it's a complete honor to fly this awesome airplane for you. Hope everybody's enjoying it. Thanks.
Major Fulham is now performing a jig-out maneuver. This continuously changing three-dimensional maneuver makes it very difficult for enemy anti-aircraft gunners to track the A-10. The Warthog was built to withstand significant battle damage while having the capability to fly on a single engine and the total loss of hydraulic power. The A-10 has a well-known reputation for strength and striking power, a reputation earned in multiple deployments, where Hogs destroyed numerous enemy armored vehicles, artillery sites, Scud missiles, and was even credited with 2 air-to-air kills. Today, the upgraded A-10C continues to set the standard for supporting Allied forces in today's fight. Now, from the right, Major Fulham in a 4-point roll. And now, Heritage flights are performed at special events and air shows in the United States and around the world. The professional men and women you see that commands 30th and the Heritage Lights Milestones. A tradition around and a legacy about. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday with us. Attack Demo out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time for the Growlers! $1, $2. You are cleared for 25. Designed for highly specialized missions across the electromagnetic spectrum. Its electronic warfare capabilities combined with the virtually identical airframe and flight characteristics. The F-18 Super Hornet, and we all know and love, make the Growler one of the most advanced tactical aircraft in the world today. The voice of the Growler demonstration team. How about that? Pretty good stuff if you ask me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome back to the stage as the Growlers come through for their break pass. To your right, he's going to pull 60 degrees into the vertical and perform a split S, reversing his direction over the runway and land.
critics, my words are not physics, of course, and they